What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we are here on the free-to-play account in the middle of clan versus clan, having a good time today. Been doing a lot of work on this account, and we've got some pretty cool stuff going on now. I can now finally say we have managed to achieve a 2-key and Nightmare clan boss run, which we're going to get into in this video, kind of show off the team a little bit and talk about that. But also wanted to mention for my free-to-play account, this is actually a really good time. I actually love clan versus clan on my free-to-play account. It's kind of crazy to say that, but I get a lot of resources from it. We just got the milestone that gave us 2 more clan boss keys, so that's another reason I wanted to jump on here and make this. We've been getting a bunch of ancient shards, a lot of energy today, chickens, all kinds of stuff that's good for the account. You can see here we're up to 15 ancient shards now. I've decided now I'm going to start hoarding my ancient shards for the next 2x to see if we can finally get some decent pulls. Hopefully get that Wanderer or that Airnest to finish off Raza's Scarhide. So kind of just holding on to everything for right now. We've also been able to get some Great Hall work done. One of the things I've started to do is hold all my Great Hall medals until clan versus clan, so I get the points for to help out the clan. We also had an artifact enhancement today. I've been farming a lot of spider. I've probably spent about 7 or 8 million silver today, upgrading a lot of my lifesteal gear from all of our dragon farming we've been doing. But I think I got on my force, I got my defense HP up to 5, and I think I brought something else. I think the accuracy brought up to 5. So I got 3 more categories brought up to 5, which is pretty cool. And then I also brought my magic defense up to 5. So had quite a few upgrades we were able to make there, which is pretty cool. So just gonna kind of show you guys that real quick before we jump into this. And we do have the fusion going on right now. I'm not real sure if we're gonna really chase this fusion that hard. I'm not, really sure if I can use this guy on our account at all. And we don't have the legendary books for him anyways, but we're still gonna go after it and see what happens. We've actually been farming spider pretty hard. Like I said, you can see I have barely any silver left. We did go through and upgrade a bunch of artifacts today. So let's just get right into it, though. We're going to talk about the exciting news today on our clan boss team. We actually did get Nightmare down to a 2-key. Now, you're going to see here I'm at 65.7. Basically, we'll round up a little bit there. We did have to run 3 keys. Here's the funny thing. So I did a run on Void, then I did a run on Spirit, and I had 39.1 exactly. You need 39.16. And I couldn't tell if, I had that number or not, so I had to go ahead and run 1 extra key to make sure I get the top chest, which is kind of hilarious. But the last key we ran, I'll go ahead and pop up the 2 screenshots from our last 2 keys. You'll see here we are clear 2-key on Spirit. I'm pretty sure this team can 2-key magic as well, because we are kind of affinity strong there. Force is still kind of the issue. We haven't quite figured out a way to get through that yet. I think what I'm going to have to wind up doing is eventually finish Stag Knight's Masteries and put him back into lifesteal and kind of run him on that team instead of Aina, so he can do the defense down. What would be really cool is if we could actually finish Raza's Scarhide. That's actually more important to me on this account right now than getting Arbiter, because he would just take our clan boss to the next level. Being able to do that decreased defense and weaken in the same attack, and being that force affinity, which is going to help us out when we have to run against that force clan boss. But what we're going to do here, since we've actually we've hit the threshold for ultimate chest, we have 2 keys left. I kind of want to take this team into Ultra Nightmare and just see how they can do. So I don't know how this is going to work. We only need to get a bit over 17 million in order to get the bottom chest, which doesn't really give you much. There's no chance at sacreds here, which is not great, but you can still get epic books, and it's still basically 5 and 6-star gear. We could get a Void here. So we're going to shoot for that and see if we can at least get over that. I did do a test key the other day on Ultra Nightmare before I made some improvements to this team, and we got about 10 million. So I think 2 keys for a low chest, which is kind of cool. If we can start 2-keying Nightmare, we could throw 2 keys on Ultra Nightmare every day, get an extra chest there, get an extra 2 chests. Or it may be better off to just go for a top chest on Brutal. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But let's go ahead and just jump in here. We've got these 2 keys from Clan Boss. So we're going to try this 2 ways. We're going to go ahead and run Dreg first, which is what I've been doing lately to get that HP, extra HP percentage, because Aina is pretty squishy. That's another reason we kind of want Razan, because he's that defense-based champion. Her base defense is terrible, so it's very hard to get her stats up to where she can survive much past turn 20 to 25, somewhere in that range. But we've been rebuilding Aox a little bit this week. Got his stats in a pretty good spot right now, but we still have a lot of room for improvement. And we'll take a look at all these champions here in just a minute. So let's go ahead and just fire this up. We do have Spirit Affinity, which is, it's good for our Magic champs, not so good for our Force champs, but Aox and Skull Crusher are built pretty sturdy, so I think we'll be okay here. We're just going to see what happens. We already got that poison sensitivity up, which is good, and then we got the extension from the AoE attack there, so that's already on there, meaning we're going to not have any issues landing our poisons with Frozen Banshee. She's been carrying this team pretty hard. You saw in those screenshots she was up to 14 million damage on that one run we did there on Nightmare. I think everything kind of came together perfectly on that run, but we're going to have to look at Aina go with her extra turns. We're just going to have to get what we can out of Aina here through the first probably 15 or 20 turns. I don't know how long she's going to survive on Ultra Nightmare, but she is landing her debuffs, which is good. That was my main concern, was if I had Dragon here with HPR, we would lose a little bit on the debuffs, since Frozen Banshee has that accuracy aura that we've been using so far. But so far so good. Got a bunch of poisons up on the clan boss, and then obviously Skull Crusher or Aox are going to wind up taking that stun, since they are the negative affinity here. We would rather have it go on Skull Crusher, but again, this team is not even tuned. That's kind of the cool thing. We've managed to achieve a 2-key Nightmare without even speed tuning. Really, it's just putting better gear on the team. It kind of just goes to show you, like, when you get that stronger gear, how much of a difference it can make on your clan boss runs. That's really all this is we spent about 2 weeks farming Dragon 20, just about non-stop. Just getting as much 5- and 6-star lifesteal pieces as we could with good substats, and then rolled a bunch of them up today, and that's kind of where we are. So 10 turns, we're on pace for about 13 million, it looks like, if we can survive 20 turns. But we'll see how this works out. But the basic thing I wanted to do with this team, you guys know I've been working on Jareg to bring him in here for quite a while, was just to get the double ally protection up with Skull Crusher and Jareg running together. We get a ton of poisons out of Frozen Banshee and Aox, and then Aox is able to extend all of those debuffs every time we get hit with an AoE. Aina is our decreased defense and weakened champion, which I've been trying to find a replacement for her for a while. It's just tough to find someone that does both of those things. Again, that's why we kind of want Rosin. And she's already built. I didn't really want to sink resources into another defense down champion. I had thought about bringing Ninja onto this team, but he's only at level 50. He doesn't have any books. He does pretty well, though, even unbooked. I use him on one of my other accounts, and he's pretty decent. But I think we're just going to wait till we get Rosin, kind of conserve the resources we've already spent. That way we don't have to really put much more into building this clan boss team, since it is built fairly decently right now. And then we can go ahead and work on Rosin once we get him. I have a lot of other champions in other areas of the game I want to start working on, like Sathalia and Archmage Helmet. So we're kind of just working with what we have here, and if we can get some better gear, maybe we can get Aina to a state where she has a little bit more survivability, because that's the constant thing we've been working on, just building up everybody's HP and defense, trying to get them to survive a little bit longer. We've got that double ally protection, which has helped with that immensely, helped us do a lot more damage, since Frozen Banshee can stay up longer and add more poisons into the mix. So not doing too bad here. 12.8. This is a lot better than the last test key I ran on Ultra Nightmare, which we only did about 10 million. Of course, we do have kind of a friendly affinity here, so I think this would be a case where if Ultra Nightmare was Magic or Spirit, we could probably run it just to kind of get that chest. You can see your Skull Crusher was going down there, but it looks like he may survive a little bit longer. His defense is pretty beefy. Dreg is taking a beating here. Dreg's HP is a little on the low end. He's not quite at 50k quite yet, but you know, we're working on it. There we go. We got Skull Crusher to take the stun now, which is pretty good since he is that negative affinity. 15 million here. This is pretty surprising, quite honestly. So we do lose Dreg. I'm surprised Aina has survived this long, if I'm being honest. There she goes, get some extra turns. This is shaping up to be a pretty nice key, actually. At least for this team, for their first, you know, basically first attempt. All right, so down they go. 16.3, really not bad. 10 million from Frozen Banshee. Really not too bad at all. I'll take that. You can see their Aox and Skull Crusher really kind of struggling a little bit there against the Spirit boss. So I'd say what we may try to do is bring in Grush and see how that changes things. The only thing about bringing in Grush is we do lose that debuff extension and our more consistent attack down. See, Dreg has the attack down on his A1, but it's not very consistent. So that's another reason we have Aox in there. He provides a little bit more consistency with that attack down. But let's just see what happens, since we do have Grush already built for the clan boss. This may or may not make any difference at all. I don't think he's in lifesteal gear either, which may hurt us, but he does at least have the leech, and we'll see how this goes. But pretty cool. I'm very surprised they did that well, even though we did have the friendly affinity there. Taking that step up to Ultra Nightmare is a pretty big step from Nightmare, because the damage the clan boss does is a lot more. He's also quite a bit tougher. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how Frozen Banshee does without those debuff extensions from Aox. That's going to be the big thing. Aox is an absolutely incredible clan boss champion. He does so much. He does the attack down, he does a little bit of healing, he does poison, he does a debuff extension. Just an awesome champion. If you have him and you're struggling a little bit in clan boss, he's definitely someone you could focus on. But we're going to get a lot of survivability, I think, with this team, although the damage so far I can tell is not nearly as good as we were doing with the other team. Yeah, it looks like you can see the debuff bar is not anywhere near as full as it was on the other run. That's mainly because we don't have Aox to extend those debuffs. But okay, there we go. We got a leech up, which is good. I think with everyone in lifesteal and then Grush with that leech, we may be okay in terms of keeping the healing going here. But so far the damage is really lacking behind what it did the last run. I think we were almost to, we were over 6 million by turn 10 last time. So you can see here we lose a lot of damage taking out Aox. That's going to be the main problem, because we don't have that extra poisoner. If you can get that second poisoner in your clan boss team with Frozen Banshee, it does help out quite a bit, especially with the poison sensitivity up. But yeah, it looks like this team may survive, but they don't have the same damage output. But I still think we're going to get enough damage to be able to get the bottom chest at least, so that's kind of cool. But nice to know we can maybe come in here and drop 2 keys if we want to, just to see what happens here. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let this play through, and then we'll come back in at the end of the run, and we'll go over the champions we're using now for our 2-key Magic and Spirit Nightmare team, so you guys can kind of take a look at those and see what they look like. Alright, so you can see there, pretty tough run there. Really bringing in Grush did not do anything at all because we didn't have that debuff extension. So that's kind of the thing with Aox. It's really not his damage that he's putting out. It's all the extra stuff that he's doing. With that attack down, that little bit of healing he provides, the poison, and then of course the debuff extension. So still almost 10 million there. So we are going to get, I believe, the first chest on Ultra Nightmare at the very least. And I think we'll have another key tonight to run. So maybe even be able to take that up a little bit. But let's just take a look here. So if we can get over 23, we actually can go up to the second chest. And I'm not quite sure. We got 25. Okay, 25.9. So if we could get another 16, go up to 41k, won't make any difference. So at least we could get the Divine chest possibly. We're kind of looking at the same rewards here. You're not really going to get anything good on Ultra Nightmare until you really start hitting this main chest, the top chest, to get that chance, that Sacred Shard. That's really what we want to start going for there. But still pretty cool. We're able to actually make some progress on this week, which is pretty cool. Obviously saving our resources for 2 weeks is actually proving to be a pretty good strategy on this account. We're able to actually do quite a bit today and get some stuff done there. So we're actually pretty much on a good spot with the free-to-play here now, and the clan boss is getting a lot better. So let's go out here, and we're going to go ahead and just take a look at the champions I use mainly on that Nightmare team, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what we're doing. So first, of course, we have Aox, the Rememberer. Now, I think I still do need to finish his last 2 masteries. We were just in a hurry to get him down here to War Master. And I believe he is fully booked. He is fully booked. And basically we were able to roll all his gear up to 16 today for the most part, except for his accessories, which I think we were still trying to get that finished up there. But just take a look at his general stats here. You see 45,000 health, 3,200 defense, 181 speed. His crit rate, obviously we want that to be a little higher for the clan boss damage, but that's really not something we're super concerned with. His accuracy also, I'd like to get this at least above 220. So that's just something we maybe revisit with glyphs or try to get some better pieces of gear to kind of fill that in. We do have him in the 1 perception set to kind of help out with that. Accuracy banner might be another idea there too, but we so far have not been able to get much to drop from Lizardmen faction there, but that is Aox. Our other force champion here is, of course, Skull Crusher, who's kind of our defensive stalwart on this team. Here's a look at his masteries. Basically just some standard clan boss defensive masteries with a little bit of a counterattack built in there. And he is, I believe, fully booked as well. I think, yeah, he only takes, what, 5 books. So actually, Skull Crusher's got a lot of value for his books. You can see we have not really had a chance to get any of his accessories really in a great spot. He's running an attack amulet, which I'd rather have that as defense or HP. We do at least have the defense banner on him, which is okay. And again, it's just a case of not really getting much to drop from Spider again. We've got all his lifesteal rolled up. We do have him in a defense chest and a defense gauntlets to kind of get his defense there. You see it's at 4,000, 38,000 health. I'd like to get that a little higher as well. We could probably sacrifice maybe 400 or 500 defense and add, try to get some HP stacked on there. Crit rate, again, we'd like to have it higher. We don't really care about his accuracy because we don't want him adding debuffs to the debuff bar. So we really kind of want to focus on trying to get him some more crit rate at some point. But that's kind of just a look at him there. And let's see, who else do we have here? We got Jareg, who's our latest addition to the team. And you can see we didn't quite manage to finish rolling up his helmet or his weapon today. And some of his accessories still need some work. I have really weak accessories in Lizardman faction, so you can see, he's running an attack banner. I would much rather this be accuracy or HP for him, but we're actually in a pretty good spot with his accuracy at 259 just from his gear, although we did have to run an accuracy chest, so again we could have that as HP %, but you'll see here we got a quad speed roll on this. This is like the only quad speed roll I think I've got on either one of my accounts so far, so we kind of had to put this in and use it on him. His masteries are fully complete, and I believe he also has all his books. He's another good book value champion. You only need 7 books on him to get the maximum value out of him. So kind of like Skull Crusher, again, that's really nice for clan boss because you don't have to spend a lot of epic books on either one of them. And they both provide that ally protection, which is pretty nice. And even though he's an HP champ, we're a little bit on the low end at 47,000. His defense needs to come up as well. So he's kind of a work in progress. We got crit rate's decent. Accuracy is really good. That's a good spot for his accuracy. His speed's pretty solid. But we definitely need to work on getting him some better HP and better defense. And that's just going to come with the gear. We kind of are just stuck with the gear we have right now, working on that. So that's kind of where we are with that. Of course, we also do have Aina here, and I believe we're also, again, trying to get her into a better spot. Barbarians, I haven't had much luck either with getting anything. I'd like to get her into a defense amulet here, but we don't really have any good defensive stat things for Barbarians. We've got mostly accuracy there. And she's in a defense banner as well because that's her biggest problem. You can see her defense is 760, and that makes it really hard to build defense on her. Even with a really focused effort, we've only been able to get her up to about 2,500 and almost 30k health. So if we could get both of those numbers up a little bit more, it'd be pretty good. Her crit rate would be nice to get higher, but at this point, I just want her alive longer to be applying those debuffs. So that's why we kind of would rather have her health and defense higher. I think the longer she stays alive, the more damage we're going to do regardless. Plus, she does get those extra turns, which is pretty nice. And we also do have her fully booked. She takes 12 books, so a little bit on the higher end there with those. And then her masteries are also fully complete here. And then we have Frozen Banshee, who's basically the star of this team. One of the best clan boss champions in the game that you can use basically throughout the entirety of clan boss. And again, she's another work in progress. You see here we still have her in a common chest piece because we were able to get that defense percentage roll on it. And we've got her in common speed boots. So again, it's just a matter of farming the gear, taking that time, trying to get everything working right on her. She's got defense ring, defense amulet, and we got her in an accuracy banner. But she's fairly easy to build for defense because she does have that nice base defense of 1,000. In her case, it's more of the HP we need to work on and get that up a little bit higher. Since she is a poisoner, we can kind of take some leeway with some of her other stats. But we can take a look at her total here. You see 195 speed. 292 accuracy is probably a little overkill, but you know, that's just how the gear roll that we had. We could probably sacrifice a little bit of that to get some more HP and maybe a little bit more defense. So maybe that's something we will look into. But she's basically there just to throw those poisons on the clan boss. And you can see her masteries. We actually have her built a little differently. We have her built with the counterattack masteries in there, so she can hopefully get out more poisons on the clan boss. That's kind of how we use her there. But one of the best clan boss champions in the game for sure. So if you've got her and again you haven't used her, someone like her Aox, then she's definitely worth throwing in there. Now here's Grush. We have been using him in clan boss here and there, mainly just for his leech, and you can see he's mainly just built with defense and his accuracy, so he's landing that leech there. And Grush can put out a little bit of damage here and there, but pretty good champion overall. But we're probably not going to be using him much in clan boss going forward, just because we're not going to be having him in that lifesteal gear. So it's going to be tougher. You saw there on that Ultra Nightmare run, it was a lot harder to keep him alive there. So that's why we kind of went away from using him and went more to the double ally protect team that we've been running now. So pretty cool though, you know, up to the 2 key Nightmare. Very exciting. I don't want to go in here. I want to go to index real quick. So what I actually wanted to look at and why it's so important that we get this rosin fusion finished. Look at his base defense, 1310. Compared to Aina, who's is 700. So if we were able to get Rosin, and of course Rosin's damage is also based on defense. He's got a 3-hitter on the A1, and then we can also get the decreased defense and the weaken on one attack. So he basically does Aina's job. She has 2 separate attacks for this. He's got it all in one. The only problem with him really is that he will take legendary books, and he does take quite a few there. He looks like 10 legendary, or no, actually more than that. What is it? We got 4 here, 5, 9. We got 12 legendary books we would need on him. But I think even without those, I think he will do a pretty good job. 4-turn cooldown is really not too bad with Aox in there. We can extend that, so we're really not too worried about it. But yeah, he'll be a lot easier to build for defense, and then that'll also give him the extra damage. So it would be really great if we could just get this one last champion we need to finish Rosin off and bring him into the clan boss team. Again, we're just basically looking at all we need is Wanderer. And I mean, I pull all my mystery shards every day. I just can't seem to get this guy to drop. We're going on over 6 months now to get this one part of the fusion finished. Or we could get Arrhenius, you know, but again, she hasn't dropped either. But we got all the other epics ready to go. It's just a matter of needing that one last rare, that one last epic. So there it is. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on the clan boss and how it was going on the free-to-play account. Got a nice achievement today, getting to that 2 key level with at least magic and spirit, and we'll continue to work on it for the force boss as well. As always, if you guys have any questions about anything in the video, feel free to let me know down below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. As always, I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.